Hey guys, Swamp Lunar Harry here. Gonna do a quick impromptu video for you, and this is involving an article that I just found on all places Twitter about Twitter. And it comes from the Gateway Pundit. And of course, Gateway Pundit's a little bit biased, so I'm going to try to eliminate some of the bias that they put in their article here. But it is about everything that we already know Twitter is doing, and that is shadow banning. I've known this for well over a year. Everybody else who I know knows it, has known it for a long time. And now we finally have actual admission from Twitter saying that they're shadow banning people, but they're not shadow banning people. They're doing it for another reason, for Twitter's reasons. But anyway, let me just stop beating around the bush, and I'm going to get into this article here. All right. From the Gateway Pundit. After repeatedly denying it, Twitter officially admits to shadow banning users. After repeatedly denying it, Twitter officially admitted to shadow banning users on Tuesday. However, they didn't elaborate in detail. Twitter has repeatedly denied that that they shadow ban users. They even denied this practice during Senate hearings, where, please point out if I'm wrong, were they under oath? I mean, I could do a quick check myself, but you can you can put that in the comments down there, whether they were under oath or not. And if they were, that's a whole other can of worms that is going to be ripped open on Twitter. But let's just ignore that for now, and we'll continue. Project Veritas previously caught many Twitter engineers and employees on camera admitting the social media giant shadow bans Trump supporters, and specifically Trump supporters. Stephen Pierre, a Twitter engineer, explains, shadow banning, he says, it's going to ban a way of talking. Okay, so this is somebody who is an engineer. These are the developers. They create the algorithms and make sure that the codes and the algorithms run smoothly on the site. So if this is coming from the mouth of this guy saying this is going to ban a way of talking, this is literally newspeak. This is 1984 Orwellian newspeak. If you read 1984, I don't know if this is required reading in high schools anymore. It was when I was in high school. Probably isn't anymore, because it pretty much shows the game plan of the socialist and the leftist mentality. But in 1984, the party is trying to figure out how to get rid of English. They're trying to get rid of the vocabulary of the day, and they're trying to replace it with newspeak. And every single day, they have thousands of people working for the government finding out words that they can get rid of, or finding out words that are not useful anymore that can be portrayed by the words that are considered okay by the party. So it's literally a condensing language into very strict avenues that you can take to limit how you can actually express your thoughts, because how we express our thoughts is how we talk. Like we break down our thoughts in the same way how we express our thoughts through speech. So if you're able to curb people's speech, you're able to then curb people's thought. So Twitter is taking a page literally out of 1984, and they are trying to ban a way of talking. So, okay, let's just continue. Former Twitter software engineer Abhinav Vadruvu, of course, I probably butchered that name, on shadow banning. This is what their take is. They just think that no one is engaging with their content, when in reality, no one is seeing it. So this is sleight of hand on Twitter's part. We know that this would be taboo to just have people shadow ban when they're not doing anything wrong. And Twitter, later on, They even say that these people are not violating our terms of service, but they're not conducive to the conversation. No, they're not conducive to the conversation that you want. But anyway, this it's a sleight of hand. They literally are taking specific people who they deem unsavory or too much of an influence, and they thrall them into non-existence. So, as in, let me just recap. They just think that no one is engaging with their content, when in reality, no one is seeing it. This is sleight of hand and deception straight out of Twitter. And they aren't finally admitting. I'll give them that. They're letting the cat out of the bag to some extent. Like, I would never have thought that they would even concede this far. But, you know, of course, they're trying to cover their ass with, oh, but this is the reason why. No, your reasons why are also the same censorship contrived, like, hate speech contrived narrative that the left comes up with. These are your reasons for this. So your reasons are just as bad as for why you're doing it in the first place. Let's continue. Former Twitter content review agent Mo Norai explains the banning process. If it was a pro-Trump thing and I'm anti-Trump, I banned his whole account. It's at your discretion. So Twitter will tell you what their policy is, but they're lying to you because the policy that they've written is vague. Vague enough to where they can legally cover their ass when a person, if they're working for Twitter and their opinions are anti-Trump, but unfortunately the person that they're targeting on Twitter is pro-Trump, it is at that person's discretion to ban that account or not. But they have that legal out because their terms of service and their definitions of yada 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 hate speech or other bullshit is so vague that they can get away with this crap. And they know this. They knowingly... Here's the thing that really pisses me. They know that they're doing this. Like, I'm not stupid. I know that there are people smart enough at Twitter that they know what they're fucking doing when they do this. There's... Jack Dorsey is probably... He even said he actually okayed some people to get their accounts banned. So it's not far-fetched to see that this man is micromanaging every little aspect of what he considers free speech, or what he considers conducive to the conversation. Let's continue. When asked if the banning process was an unwritten rule, Narai adds, very. A lot of unwritten rules. It was never written, it was more said. So that's why it was so vague when it was written down and given to the people who are using Twitter. By law, they need to give us the guidelines. But they don't care, so they'll just throw some vagueness at us that is legally okay to throw at us, and then still manipulate it from the background under this like gray area of what it is considered to be legal or not. So they understand the cracks of the system, and they're abusing those cracks, and they're widening those cracks into freaking giant holes that they can just slip a lot of this Orwellian censorship right through and just blanket everybody with. It's horrible. All right, let's continue. Olinda Hassan, policy manager. So she is one of the people who decides how the company takes stands on certain issues. So she is the one. She's one of the ones who figures out how the company feels about things. She's the feels czar. Policy manager for Twitter Trust and Safety explains, we're trying to downrank shitty people to not show up. We're working on that right now. What are those shitty people? Those shitty people are based solely on your interpretation of what you think is shitty or not. So, yeah, this is bias. This should be thrown out. This is not legal. Shadow banning, to be used stealthily to target political views, says this former Twitter engineer. That's a thing. Censorship of certain political viewpoints to be automated via machine learning, according to Twitter software engineer. So they won't. They think, oh my god, this is just too hard for us to do. There's just too many trolls. There's just too many racists and hate mongers out there. We just need to do a cookie cutter algorithm for this machine to do the work for us. I mean, there might be some roughness around the edges. Maybe some of our own people will be caught up in this. But on the whole, we're going to get rid of the bad people, which are conservatives. Censorship of certain political viewpoints. Okay, automated. Yeah, sorry about that. Here we go. The next person. This is a Twitter direct messaging engineer. So this is a person who codes the algorithms and makes our DMs work. And of course, here's the little side. Twitter watches our DMs. They're not private. Direct messages are not direct to the other person. Twitter sees them. Parnay Singh on machine learning algorithms. You have like 5,000 keywords to describe redneck. The majority of it are for Republicans. So they correlate redneck, low information, racist, xenophobe with Republican. And that is where you see this whole mentality coming in being seeped into reality, where regular people on the street will just say, nah, well, we don't really need Republican values in this area because this is very liberal. Like we're not racist, we're not like xenophobic. We don't want to like hurt gay people. And this is just what people like are associating Republicans and conservatives with. Islamophobia, which is not a thing. Homophobia, like anti-immigration, and oh my god. They literally, I just had a brain fart because of how crazy this is. On the whole, a synonym for Republican is racist, homophobe, xenophobe, bigot, redneck. That in itself is so prejudicial and discriminatory. I don't even know where to start. But that's not what I'm talking about. Back to the actual article. Twitter once again avoided transparency and used vague language, like they always do, when describing how they would deem tweets to be abusive. In a blog post, Twitter says they have a new approach to hiding content from trolls and troll-like behavior that distort and detract from the public conversation on Twitter. Who are you deeming as trolls? What is trolling? What is troll-like behavior? And what constitutes enough distortion and detraction to remove those comments from a thread? How vague is that? You could just say, this goes back to what that guy said. If I feel like I want to ban you, you're banned. This is all feels. It's all about the feels. Whenever I hear an argument or a debate going on, and then a person from the left or a social justice warrior is trying to explain why their position is so important, 99% of the time it goes back to feelings. That's where I just disconnect. That's where my brain turns off. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's completely subjective, so this doesn't matter. It only matters to you. So it's not important. I get it, but, you know, reasons, it is important. Alright, let's get back. Yeah, Twitter admits that troll-like behavior doesn't violate their terms of service. However, they will still be hiding the content because they don't want anything on the platform that can distort conversation. Hide what? What do you hide? What posts are you hiding? Which of course means that they don't. Okay, well, sorry, that's the biased part of the Gateway Pundit. I'm not gonna say that. To put this in, okay, here's quotes from. Where are these quotes coming from? I do believe they are from another, either a former Twitter engineer or something of the like. To put this in context, less than 1% of accounts make up the majority of reports reported for abuse, but a lot of what's reported does not violate our rules, while still a small overall number of these accounts have disproportionately large and negative impact on people's experiences on Twitter. Well, those people who have those, who claim that those experiences are negative, I'm sorry, Twitter is not supposed to be a safe space. You're supposed to be challenged by other people's ideas, and whether or not you like them or not should have no ramifications on that person for their opinion. Twitter will be watching everyone, Trump supporters, closely and will be monitoring who users interact with. The whole Trump supporters was in parentheses. That's, of course, Gateway Pundit for you, with their bias. We'll continue. There are many news signals we're taking in, most of which are not visible externally. Just a few examples include if an account is not confirmed, has not confirmed their email, and / if the same person signs in for multiple accounts simultaneously, accounts that repeatedly tweet and mention accounts that don't follow them, or behavior that might indicate a coordinated attack. So that's a lot to break down. So they're going to be watching for how people are tweeting at other people. So they're going to be somehow trying to keep track of the natural evolution of a conversation. I don't see how that's going to work. I see a lot of people getting thrown under the bus with this. But what's really red flag is that accounts that repeatedly tweet and mention accounts that they don't follow. So let's say you are not following, I don't know, Linda Sarsour. Oh, look, my hair is crazy. Crazy liberal Muslim woman who is advocating for female genital mutilation, but still says that men should not manspread on the New York subway. Yeah, she's got her priorities set straight. So let's say you are, quoting her tweets or commenting on her threads from the bullshit that she's spewing, and you rebuke that with facts or evidence or a different opinion. If you do that enough, you're going to get shadow banned. So expressing criticism will get you shadow banned. Criticism. No, criticism is not hate speech. It's criticism. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. We're also looking at how accounts are connected to those that violate our rules and how they interact with each other. So, guilt by association. If you are connected, if you follow, let's say, Paul Joseph Watson, and he's trolling on one of the, if he's trolling on J.K. Rowling, if he's trolling her, because you follow him and let's say you like and retweet his posts, you will get shadow banned for that. But it's so vague. I mean, we don't know, but that's certainly in the context of what they're saying here. We are in some crazy times. We are in some deep water here, people. We need to get these people back under oath at Congress, and these people need to lose their protection under the Communication Neutrality Act or whatever. It's protection that if you are supposedly an unbiased communication service, you get exempt from being held liable under First Amendment, Fourth Amendment rights from people who are using your service. But if you are biased, then you are open to getting sued by people because you're violating their First Amendment rights. But if you are unbiased, you are exempt from. That's in a nutshell. That this is what they're fighting tooth and nail for, is to keep that notion that they're not biased, they don't have any political leanings, because if that turns out that that's not the case, they will get sued by every single person who says that they were shadow banned, every single person who says that their First Amendment was curtailed by this company. They don't want that to happen. Twitter does not want. They will be done. Like, Facebook is dead because of this. The same thing happened to Facebook because Facebook was caught doing this. And the same thing is happening in Twitter. And they don't want that to happen because Twitter will die. Twitter will die. Twitter will die faster than Facebook will. Of course it will. Twitter is this compared to Facebook. I mean, it's no contest. Okay, here we go. Let me continue. Americans look. Okay, this is just the gateway pundit spin here. Let me blow through this. Twitter and Facebook learned their lesson after the twin. They will never again allow the free flow of information. Okay, yeah, this is. We cannot confirm that they are going to deny the free flow of information. This is, of course, and I would on another day I would agree with this, but I'm trying to be impartial here. I'm trying to keep some sort of level head here. But that is pretty much the gist of the article there. The main fact is the two things I wanted to point out at the end is accounts that repeatedly tweet and mention accounts that don't follow them. So if you are trying to call out the bullshit from some stupid lefty social justice liberal, and you constantly do that and you're good at it, let's say you're good at it and you get a bunch of likes and retweets, you'll be targeted, you'll be shadow banned. And then the people who follow and like people like Paul Joseph Watson and Educating for Liberals, that's another one there, Thomas Victor, those people will be shadow banned because they follow people who throw a monkey wrench into the narrative of the left. So if you do it directly yourself, or if you're even liking or associating yourself with somebody who does that, you are open for shadow banning. You are open to get yourself buried into the nothingness of Twitter's terms of service. So that was pretty much my reaction to the article, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your own ideas or opinions on what you think about this article, what you think about Twitter. Is Twitter going to go the way of Facebook? Yeah, Facebook is still here, but remember, this has just been a couple weeks since the shit hit the fan for Facebook. Their stock is plummeting. People are leaving in droves. It happened to Facebook. Now, Twitter has been exposed, pretty much doing the same exact thing. What's going to happen to them? Is Jack Dorsey going to be hauled in front of a congressional hearing? I'd love to see that happen. Please tell me your opinion on whether or not you'd like to see that happen too. Remember, you can follow me at Twitter, the place of freedom of speech, or the place of wonderful, wonderful new Orwellian newspeak terms that we need to all abide by. Follow me there. I've got a Gab and I got a Minds. Same thing. You can follow me there. You can search up the Swamp Cleaner, or on Minds it's Harry_no_spin. So Harry no spin, but between all the words there's an underscore. So you can look at me up there. Apparently there's an issue with them updating my name to the Swamp Cleaner. But you can look me up there. Gab at the Swamp Cleaner. Twitter, Swamp Cleaner. Of course, here on YouTube. But remember, we are guilty because of who we like. We are guilty because we have the same opinions. The same conservative or libertarian opinions. But no, those are taboo. Can't have those. We need to be progressive. So progressive. Okay, guys. I'll see you later. Swamp Cleaner out.